When I was in high school years ago, back in the early 80s, all right, I was a basketball player. And, you know, I played a lot of basketball, and I was pretty good, and my grades suffered, but that's a different story. When I was in high school, we had this thing called the Olympic Development League, and what that meant was they would have an all-star team at the county level. And I had grown up in Norwalk, and I moved out to Riverside, and so I decided to try out for the Olympic Development League team in Riverside and San Bernardino. So about probably 80 of us showed up at this tryout, all right? And it was at Redlands University, and it was exciting to be playing on a university gym. And we had one day of tryouts, and they cut 50 people, and I wasn't one of them. I made it through the first cut. Then we came back the next day on it was a Saturday or a Sunday, and they said, all right, there's 30 people left. We're going to cut another 15 people, and we're going to leave it at 15. So I had a great tryout, made it, got down to 15. So the coaches said, all right, next weekend we're going to have a scrimmage, and it's going to be considered a tryout and a scrimmage, and we're going to go from 15 to 12. We're just going to cut 3 more people. So the next weekend came along, and we all met at Cal State Los Angeles, the University, CSU Los Angeles. And I don't know if you've been there. It's a big gym, and it's a real gym. And I remember getting there and being pretty excited. And I looked down in the audience, or in the bleachers. It wasn't well attended. There's 20 people sitting in the bleachers, but they were mostly scouts from colleges and universities. One of the guys sitting in there was Larry Brown. Anybody know who Larry Brown is? Was at that time? He's a famous NBA basketball coach now, but he was head coach of UCLA. Now, my dream all throughout being a kid was to go play basketball at UCLA. This is literally the kind of dream I would have over and over again. Play basketball at UCLA. It's ironic I went to USC, but anyway. My dream was to play basketball at UCLA, and there was the guy who could make it happen, sitting in the bleachers. I always wonder why I didn't walk up to him and introduce myself and say, stick around, I'm going to play as hard as I can, I just want you to watch me. If I'm the guy you're looking for, I might be at UCLA. What I did instead was I didn't go up and talk to him. And I just didn't show up for that tryout, and I was one of the 3 guys that was cut from the team that day. And it burns me to this day. I wish I could go talk to that kid, to that young man, and say, listen, this was why you shot all those basketball jump shots in your driveway in Norwalk. This is why you ran all those miles. This is why you lifted all those weights. This is why you did that for this day. Of all days not to show up, how could it be that day? Now, of course, I can't go talk to that kid. It's impossible. But I can say to you, Cerritos College is not like a defining moment, but it is a defining period in your life. It's a period that is the transition from what you were a few years ago to what you're hoping to become a couple years from now. It's a real moment, right? It's not something that's just going to happen to you. It's something that you have to engage in. That you have to walk up to Larry Brown and shake his hand and say, watch me. That's how intentional you got to be about this process. You got to be present for this entire process. And the way you exercise this kind of presence is by focusing, advancing, linking up, comprehending, organizing, and embracing new ideas. All right, thank you very much.